All right, so you guys are part of the big 3-0, man. Today I have two very talented guys on the show. They're animators, documentarians, directors. If making a film was anything like a baseball game, they would be utility players because they do it all. They recently released Shots in the Dark with David Godlis, a documentary which follows street photographer Godlis, the founder of Tall Glass with Ice Productions, Noah and Lewie Kloster.
That's what's up.
I'm never gonna be more flattered than that.
Yeah, dude, we're trying to be official here.
I'm trying to catch my breath.
Sorry, guys. Don't mean to flatter you guys.
Utility players.
Yeah, man. I know you guys are big baseball guys with the Twins and stuff.
Well, Marwin Gonzalez, or there's this new guy on the Twins called. His name is Williams Astudillo. He looks like a big fat turtle. People call him La Tortuga.
Oh, nice.
He's a good utility player.
That's his nickname?
Yeah.
La Tortuga.
Spanish.
Jesus. Let's just get into it, I guess. I'm guessing you guys are fans of like early punk rock, that CBGB stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, why else would you look up Godlis? So, how did you get into contact with them in the first place? Is my first question.
So, I used to be an intern at the Lincoln Center, and I went to an event, like a film opening at the MoMA on behalf of the Lincoln Center, and this event staff photographer was there, and I had seen like his Instagram tags earlier because like he takes all the photos for Lincoln Center, and I like couldn't believe it because he was there at the event that I was at, because I looked at his Instagram earlier, like a week earlier, and it was the guy who had taken the pictures that literally like hung up in my older brother's dorm room growing up when I'd visit him. We have another brother named Wes who's a huge punk guy. He had Godlis photos printed out and hung up on his walls in his dorm house. And they were the sickest photos ever. He had one of Alex Chilton in the rain. I think he had one of the Dead Boys. So I was like, holy shit, the guy who takes red carpet photos for Lincoln Center he was there. Like, he used to be the guy. And he's like got such an iconic plume of hair.
Yeah.
And you can't miss him. And I saw him at this party, and I was so, like, I was more nervous because like as an intern, I was doing some of like the PR things, like interviewing like Pattinson, Robert Pattinson. See, who gives a shit about him? I care about Godlis.
No, but he's part of the story.
Yeah, I was like really nervous to meet Godlis.
Yeah.
As opposed to everyone else, and I approached him, and he just like quickly like shut down all my nerves by like making himself. And, like,
because he's a real guy. I could tell from the behind the scenes, like he's just seems like a real cool, kind of a goofy guy too. Like
yeah,
and it's kind of like paradoxical talking to him because most of like those famous people are dead. I mean, a lot of them are dead. They all. And
not to say David's old, but just something
like,
about New York.
Something about New York in the 80s, like
gave everyone cancer,
drugs or AIDS or something like, or cancer. I mean, it took a lot of lives, and it's like talking to him. It's like it's like jumping into a time machine. Like his stories, like just are incredible, and I mean, it's so weird talking to him too. It's just because like. For us, we weren't alive during those times, CBGBs, but we grew up listening to the Ramones, or I grew up looking at their like pictures of the Ramones and CBGB. I had the little CBGB shirt when I was young, and so like, I always thought it was like very mythological, and then talking to him, it's very just like straight up. I'm like, yeah, I used to hang out there, and it's like
it's just a bar.
Yeah, it's a club, and they, it used to be like a CBGB stands for country, blues, and
country bluegrass.
Country, bluegrass, and blues. So it used to be like an old timers bar where they used to play oldies, but they didn't make much money doing that, so they just started hosting punk shows. So like, I don't know, it's a weird thing, and Godlis is a weirdly awesome guy.
Yeah, he seems weird, man.
Yeah.
But it seems like you guys vibe.
Oh yeah.
But I'd love to get into his stories in a sec. But how did you guys actually like conceive this idea? Because you met him and you were like, oh, we could do this really cool, like pay homage to the whole like early punk scene, or
Well,
how did you conceive this?
asking to make a film about someone is like, it's not intimidating, but it's like, you know that you're it's kind of like telling your girlfriend for the first time that you love her, you know? It's like you're going into new territory.
Yeah.
And like, all right, well, I'm going to say this thing where like now if I let them down in the future, it's awkward, you know? Yeah. It's like, you know, can I make a film about you, Godlis? And then if it doesn't happen, it's kind of awkward. Like asking the question and then not following through.
Or if it's like a bad movie too. I mean, it's like, it's hard. I mean, it's a lot easier making a movie about someone you don't really know. Because if it doesn't turn out, you just be like, never show it to them. But Godlis was like he's like a close friend. I mean, we see him a lot. And
yeah, it's like you really like just go into a marriage because like, exactly, like if you don't know the person well enough,
you just don't have to. I mean, I made a few films in college about little documentaries about people, and they're so bad that I only showed, you know, my class, and the subject never saw it. So I mean, it's like, it's a little scary. It feels like you're taking a dive in the deep end.
Yeah.
You ask kind of a stranger.
Yeah, it's like proposing.
But you guys did it, and no doubt, like I'm sure he has a ton of stories and stuff. And
yeah,
when you guys actually went down to see like the old CBGB site, could you tell on his face or like in his movements, like was like a bunch of shit circulating in his head? Like, could you tell like there was some weird connection to him in the old CBGB spot or something like that?
And when we first, I remember early on in the process, we did, I think before we got him on mic, or maybe after one session of like interviews, it was a nice summer day. It was like maybe 2 years ago or a year ago. We like walked around the Bowery, and
we've been working on this thing forever.
Yeah, he literally was like, right here is where I shot this picture. And then he's like, then when we were outside CBGB, he was like, I could plot out every picture I took and where I was standing and where the subject was standing. He's like, picture of Jim was over here, and then the picture of Patty was right here, and then I don't know. Yeah, it was like stepping into his mind palace. Yeah, but like memories of something that doesn't exist. It's really weird. It's like, I don't know. It's like going to the 9/11 memorial. It's like,
with who? With the falling man.
Yeah, no, it's like, it's for him, it's like more, you know, it's, yeah.
Maybe we should cut that.
I love that, dude. I get what Noah's trying to say.
I get it too. I do too.
It's like
going to the old memorial.
No, when I went to the 9/11 memorial for the first time, it was it's in the middle of Financial District, right?
Yeah. We've been to the same one.
Oh yeah, right. It's silent there, dude. It's one of the most quietest parts in the entire city, and there's this aura that's around the whole friggin' area. I'm sure when you're there with David Godlis at CBGB, it's just like you're there with a mastermind, a man who, if he didn't do what he did, our generation would have no visuals of this entire thing that we actually love. I love that whole genre of music. Like I know Iggy Pop played it like a couple times, but I love Iggy Pop. I love Blondie. Like I wouldn't see any of those photos if it's not for a man like Godlis, you know. So
exactly.
when you're there with the mind,
right? And a lot of his photos are very intimate. They're not like, hey, you stand here and I'll take your picture.
Mm-hmm.
Very like, stop what you're doing. I'm gonna take your picture.
Very candid, yeah. Yeah.
Frozen, you know, it's frozen in time.
Does he have any wild stories of like with old rockers or anything that he shared with you guys?
I called him tonight and I said, I said, would you be down to make an appearance? He said, yeah.
On the show?
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit. Yeah, dude, we should totally just get Godlis on the show right now.
Get him on here.
Let's just get him on here.
Yeah?
Does he know how to work Zoom?
I don't know. Let's run through a few more things.
Yeah, and then we'll get Godlis on and we'll have him tell a story.
Because here's the thing. We have 16 hours of interviews with Godlis.
Damn.
That's insane.
If you get him going, he'll just keep going.
We'll get Godlis on in a set. I want to get into the animation part, kind of, and then Bird has a couple questions.
Hey,
what's up, Bird?
Yeah, I haven't said a word this whole time.
I know he's a good little bird.
Yeah.
I told him don't fucking ruin this for me, dude. I just want to know first off, with the mood of the documentary, the animation was really, really sick, dude, and I was just wondering if it was completely non-digital. Was it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and yeah. I mean,
what I think you're asking about are like the sequences where
exactly
Godlis' pictures are on screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's all in camera. So we set all those shots up on that table. On this here table.
Wow.
Look at our
It's crammed, baby. That's a true artist right there.
Don't show
everything's on the camera for the most part is like on a slider for every shot, and
yeah. But if you watch the behind the scenes, you can see their whole process.
Yeah.
That's what that device is called, a slider, because I see you guys have all the cutouts behind it, and then there's a green screen behind it.
Yeah.
What do you call that type of animation? If it's not digital, what is it?
I've been describing it as I'm like, we made like a pop-up book film.
That's what it looks like, dude.
Yeah,
straight up.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
beautiful.
You could call it like cutout animation, but it's like cutout miniatures, because it's set up in space. I mean,
yeah.
So there's like a few shots in there. To get into
there isn't a name.
You guys might have just figured it out.
We have the benefit of coming up with a name for it.
Nice.
We'll figure that out throughout this podcast.
Nice. Why did you decide to do that and not digital? Because I know digital probably doesn't take as long.
Yeah.
I read in your guys' bio on your website that you guys appreciate that sort of animation more than non-digital, because digital is now king of kind of.
That's right.
Industry.
King.
Claim is king.
Is there some animosity towards digital, or you guys just like this more?
Okay, so kind of a long explanation specific to this film.
I have an explanation.
All right, we'll start with my long, and then we'll get a summary, and then Noah's gonna like boil it down into a sentence.
All right.
But this is kind of more anecdotal. It was like we were going to cut out a giant piece of life-size foam core, the shape of the subjects Godlis photographed, and then project his images onto like the human-sized, human-shaped cut-out piece of foam core. And then as a result, the background would be behind him, and we would film that and kind of like the three-dimensionality of that. And then we were like, wow, that's going to cost way too much money. We're going to need a LA warehouse studio to make this happen. So then we got the idea to literally do it, this tall. Mm-hmm. Instead of life size, we got the idea to do that same idea this tall, but without the projector. And we just got a nice printer, printed out his photos. And I don't know, it was never like a discussion between like, should we do it for real versus digital? It's just sort of like, was a miniature idea, more like realistic idea of this crazy over the top.
Yeah, we were gonna do like basically holograms.
Yeah.
Of the people in his pictures, and then set up the same, because that background still exists somewhat, and then we would play some.
We were gonna go to the Bowery and do a few too.
Yeah, but my explanation was just that we appreciate like the tactile nature of day-to-day life, and like cutout stuff, and like where you can see like the razor blade edges, and like fingerprints and smoke and dust and stuff. I just feel like that's a lot more. If you're looking for a charger.
Yeah, you guys want to hear my computer talk to me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's see if it'll say it. It's really funny.
Alert from System UI server.
Whoa,
Low
dude.
battery.
Low battery.
You got Stephen
Alert
Hawking?
from- Low battery.
Yeah, we got Stephen Hawking in the room. Come on.
He's alive.
He's alive, guys.
It was all a hoax.
So where would you draw your influences from?
It sounds like from what you just described, like that's like some Tom Sachs. Like,
I'm here in South
inspiration.
Park, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from
You
South
could call
Park.
it, Tom Sachs meets South Park.
Wow,
Oh, nice.
that's
I
fucking
like that.
badass, dude.
Yeah, true.
Well, like I mean, that's really flattering. So I'm gonna go with that.
Influences.
Influences.
Hmm.
We're really into the Richard Linklater series, the Before trilogy.
Okay.
Into the Grateful Dead.
That is not
Grateful Dead, big influence.
We really love the
Great.
Dead.
Grateful Dead.
You hippies, man.
No, we're not. We're not hippies. They exist. Deadheads who aren't hippies, we're them.
I think I'm one of them too.
Deadheads were beatniks before. I mean, well, the
They were
Dead,
hip, yeah.
Jerry and Bobby, they're all beatniks. Hippies are
Well, if you're a Bobby fan, I feel like we're both
you're
Bobby boys.
You're a cowboy.
Oh, you're Bobby. I'm a Jerry boy, honestly, but I hate hippies.
But
Yeah, well, I think the problem is
You
that
exist too.
the problem
Yeah.
is that most of hippie culture was invented before hippie culture, like the Grateful Dead, and then hippies
They
became.
like repurposed.
It's basically like you take a beatnik and then you take away its individuality and then make it like a communal thing. It becomes a hippie.
Okay, I see you. Because beatniks are loners, right?
Yeah, they're loners and they think for themselves and they make their own shit. And
Never thought of that before. That's pretty
That's why-
fucking.
that's why the
Hippies don't think for themselves.
That's why the stereotype is that hippies are like.
Dude, how could you think when you're fucking on like 6 hits of acid?
Right.
know.
right. So I mean,
Hate
like
that.
the beatniks were like cool enough to experiment with that stuff, but then also make shit like books and poetry and music. And
I
then
feel like
all the hippies like fed off of that, and I don't know. I was watching the Grateful Dead doc the other night, and have you seen the 6-part episode series?
On Amazon.
on
No,
Amazon.
I haven't
yeah.
checked it out yet.
Oh,
It's so
Yeah,
good.
it's
actually
really
like
sick.
one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. Like all 6 episodes, like 6 hours. It's incredible, and like the first episode doesn't even talk. Like the beginning or the end of the first episode is like the beginning of the Grateful Dead. Like they talk about
Everything
whole
leading up.
Like it's a huge series, and
It's a huge band.
yeah, I mean they're the greatest American rock and roll band ever.
Ah, they're great, yeah. Bill Walton's the greatest deadhead.
Who?
Bill Walton.
Yeah. Have you seen him do play-by-play for the Chicago White Sox?
Oh, yeah, dude. I've seen him do weird play-by-play for college basketball, too. Like, that guy gets lost in his craft.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's the goat. He's the fucking goat, man.
I remember the pitcher struck out the side for the game that he was broadcasting. So 3 strikeouts in a row to end the inning. And Bill was like in amazement. He goes, "Oh my God, that was amazing." And then he turns to the like regular play-by-play guy and he goes, "You know, what is the record for the most amount of strikeouts in one inning?" He's like, 3.
What a boss, man.
Yeah, he's the
What a
man.
boss. What do you got any questions for him?
Well, I got a good segue. I got a good segue.
All right.
To stick with the Dead, Lori Lindeen, who we've made a film about in the past, she's the diner waitress of Al's Breakfast. We were telling her that we were like, well, she's part of the reason Noah's a punk, because she gave him all like the glam rock and glitter records growing up.
Oh, word.
Noah was childhood best friends with her son growing up, and she kind of primed him to be a punk. And she caught wind that we were deadheads, and she knows that the Ramones were Noah's first album Noah ever bought.
Yeah.
And then so she goes, Noah, so you're a Deadhead now, huh? And Noah goes, yeah, we like the Grateful Dead. And then she's like, well, you know how the Ramones used to start some sets, huh? They used to go, we're the Ramones and we don't jam. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
They play one chord, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny that we like the Dead and we made this film. It's funny that we're such punks, but we like the Dead.
I think you guys just appreciate good music,
Yeah.
and you appreciate these bands like the CBGB bands, and the Grateful Dead. That's great American culture right there, actually.
Yeah. I mean, Lenny Kaye and Patti Smith are both deadheads. They're kind of
Totally.
secret deadheads.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
If you appreciate music, though, you like the Dead, and you also like the people that came out of CBG.
Like, we can talk shit about, hippies and stuff, but at the end of the day, they're just people that appreciate good music like all of us.
Yeah, true. I think like Bob Weir, like I think he said something like he called the Deadheads like just some like gypsy following. I don't know if that's like PC or something, but calling people gypsies, but that's like a quote from Bob Weir.
Yeah. We don't. This is Sofa Pizza, dude.
Yeah.
You just speak your fucking mind, man.
Yeah.
No one's listening.
Yeah, true. Yeah, seriously, maybe. I don't know. I have a question for both of y'all. So, Lewie, you graduated NYU, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you go for?
For film at Tisch.
For film, and then
Undergrad, yeah.
No, you dropped Pratt Animation.
Yeah.
Was that to start what you guys are doing now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was getting in trouble.
You've been a bad boy, Noah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like high school, like kicked out for saying dirty words or making fart noises. I was getting in trouble because my teachers saw the potential in me, and they saw that I wasn't doing my work.
Your coursework.
I wasn't doing it to the best of my ability, and that's what's the stupid thing about art school is that teachers can really tell if you're not focused on the art. Like, rather than like regular school where you just write a paper and then the teacher's like, all right, good, there's only you can only put enough effort into a paper. But like for a painting, it's like, or for an animation, it's like you can put as much time as you want into it, really polish it up, and teachers can really tell if you just did it just to do it. And a lot of times that's how I did it, and teachers would say, you're not going to get a good grade in my class, and then they pull me out of the class and they tell me this, and I say, well, what kind of grade am I going to get? And they say, well, you're probably going to get like a C+, B-, and I go, all right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they go, no.
They're like, no.
They're like, no,
That's
you're
a bad thing.
They're like, you're an A student. You're a very talented.
Well, why were you doing so poorly in school, no?
It's because we were working on our own thing at this point.
Yeah, we had jobs. We were getting paid gigs to make animations.
And so I was working on those, and then,
And that obviously takes a lot of time,
Right. Yeah. And so I was a working student, and some teachers didn't understand that. And some teachers did, and some teachers let me, have extensions, and God bless those teachers. But most of the teachers didn't like the fact that I was working outside of school. And I think art school is also kind of a jealousy thing. I don't really want to get into that much, but like a lot of teachers at art school
wish they could be
your
your age again.
What?
Do you feel like sometimes they wish they could be your age again, and they could could have done things differently?
Especially
they're very bitter.
Yeah, they feel a little bitter, and there's definitely a jealousy factor. I hear one of my friends, one of Louie's friends and my friend, goes to school for mathematics, and when he's doing like a big math problem, he'll go to his professors, and they'll love to like watch over him and help him out, figure out. He's gonna get his doctorate in mathematics. He's like one of the smartest dudes I know, and his professors love the fact that he's
Maxi Rezic, shout out.
Max
Hey,
Resnick.
shout out, dude. Shout out, Maxie.
Big shout out.
Big shout out,
Big
Max.
fucking shout out.
He goes to his
I hope
teachers,
you're listening.
and they're like,
God bless him.
they're like, wow, I couldn't think of that, or I'm glad you thought of that. Now let's work on it together. It's kind of that thing where, but with art, it becomes a little like
There's like politics involved.
politics, because it's intellectual property. I mean, it's like I couldn't have thought of that, but you could, and it's very. Art is weird, and art school is weird, and I'm glad I'm out, and I don't think I'll ever go back. I feel like if I go back to school, it'll be for like English or writing or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But I loved NYU, and I only have good things to say.
Okay, so don't go to Prague, go to NYU Tisch.
Louis trying to keep those
Stay in school. That's what Louis is trying to say.
connections, dude. He's
The truth. It's the truth.
No, I kind of wish
kidding.
I wish I had gone to Tisch.
There you go. No, I think I went to school for radio. I went to school for radio, and I feel like it's kind of the same thing. Like, there's a lot of professors there who, if you can't teach, and they're great teachers, but there is some weird animosity towards the students, and it's a very weird competitive field, kind of definitely like art, where we're all working on something together in school, but then once we're out in the real world, we're all cutting each other's throats. So
Yeah,
I get it. I totally get it, man.
No,
Yeah.
there's definitely an era of competition with my fellow graduates. Or maybe that's just
but
me.
now with the teachers,
Maybe that's just me.
all the teachers at NYU were kind of old, like they were like 50 or like 60, right? Like they're all kind of old,
Yeah.
and they,
older.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, we could leave it at that.
I just don't want to shit talk my teachers. I feel like, some of them are really important to me, and I don't know if they'll listen to this. Or
Yeah,
not.
true.
Hey, I mean, I've had teachers that have really touched me in a very non-physical way, and
Oh my
they really they go a long way in my mind, and there are teachers who I do cherish what they have said to me in the past and have pushed me to do things that I wouldn't normally do, and
Yeah, true.
so God bless teachers too.
But
So,
I
there you go.
also hear there's a lot of problems with Pratt just in general. Just like
Yeah.
yeah. But that's not to be talked about. I guess.
Should we try and get Godlis on real quick, and we could wrap it up?
Do you know how to work Zoom? Let's call him and ask him if he knows.
Does he have an email?
Oh, he's got an email.
We'll send him. If he has Zoom, I don't want to have him download a whole thing.
You guys, any more questions for just the two of us?
That's pretty much it. I mean, I'll just say this real quick. Check out Shots in the Dark with David Godlis by Lewie and Lewie Kloster. It actually premieres tonight at the New York Film Festival.
I don't know if is that true?
That's
It's
true.
It premieres in 26 minutes virtually.
All right, so yeah, we'll
okay,
try and get
gotcha.
you guys out of here real quick. Where can they find the flick if they want to check it out?
The link is in my bio.
The link is in his bio, which
Okay.
we will post on the Instagram. So that's
Yeah.
totally what's going to happen.
I got a quick question about. I don't know if this is still relevant.
No, yeah,
Is
roll it, baby.
Yeah,
What's
we got time.
yeah? What? Oh, Bath and Body Works emailing Shane.
So
just
I
wanted to
ordered my
shout
mom
that out.
candles.
Nice. What's good with your guys' obsession? Or maybe with Big Boy. How'd that start?
Because Bob's Big Boys fucking rules, man.
All right, to catch
don't-
the viewers up, Noah here has undertaken the responsibility of reproducing the famous
Well,
mascot.
this is,
That's the
The
OG.
store-bought one.
Yeah,
That's
they got
a-
great malts.
they're all gone.
For real?
Yeah, I got one.
Where's yours? You got yours right?
Nah, I
It's
carry
at
it
his
with
house.
me,
Yeah.
You don't bring it everywhere you go?
No, sadly not. He's been stationary since
With
I
a
bought him.
D bag.
I don't really know where it started.
Well, Noah's recreating statues this big out of concrete
Yeah.
of this big boy. but he created his own, and it's much more cute. It's
Yeah,
a cute
it
version.
has character too.
Doesn't it say bad
grab-
boy on it?
Nah, it says big boy.
Big boy.
It's pretty much it's close to 1-to-1.
Nice.
When I got that, I was very, very happy about that.
All right, so Noah's grabbing the prototype, Big Boy number 1.
This is Big Boy number 1. I don't know.
They've gotten better since this because this was the
Well, this
test.
was the first one. I didn't pour
Dude.
enough concrete in there, and his legs didn't get.
Yeah.
That's fucking sweet, man.
But
That's super sick.
yeah, he's
His,
got
his arms dangling a little bit.
yeah. This arm is
His
broken.
arm's broken.
Oh, this one, this limited edition version. This one, I shouldn't.
Yeah, don't show that because you're making me jealous myself.
That's super sick.
That's the
On the burger in the head, because they.
that's the one I want.
Did you guys have a big boy in your hometown?
No, we don't.
Neither of us have ever even been to a Big Boy.
Yeah, we've
Ah,
had
shit.
but we don't.
You don't even remember it.
I don't even remember. I think it's a fascination with American culture, and like I didn't really have much thought to when I wanted to make them. I just like really like the mascot. I think the mascot's like the best.
Yeah,
like,
it's Americana.
Yeah, it's Americana, and it's like Betty Boop or something. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
right there. It's right there. And
You know,
also, I love burgers. Like, I'm a vegetarian. I've been one for 6 years, but like, I still love the idea of like a burger and
the
like,
fast food assembly line.
and
I want to see a Planet of the Apes remake where this is what's sticking out. This is
Yeah.
I mean, my
You guys can make that.
I mean,
You guys are the ones to be doing that.
Yeah, well, Noah's grabbing some
I
big
was kind of
boys.
unfinished painting I'm working on, but it's kind of
Oh, beautiful.
That's fucking rad, dude.
thanks. But so it's just kind of an American culture thing. Like, I love America, and I think I just want people to appreciate it more for what it is, and
For versus what it isn't.
Yeah.
For what
I mean, we could go into that right now if you want. I mean, I love American culture. I'm American as hell.
He's a patriot.
I'm a goddamn patriot. Obviously I have problems with the way the country is, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to live anywhere else, and I believe in 100% in not what's going on here, but I believe in the country. And,
Right.
couldn't agree more with you, Shane.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the Grateful Dead are kind of a good like a good representation of that. I mean, they didn't really follow the rules. I mean, like drug wise and you know, they're not stereotypically American, but America allows for things like that to happen. Much like McDonald's or Big Boy. I mean, it's like America is a place where McDonald's was born and Big Boy was born, and I don't know. It's just like
baseball was
America-
born.
America
Budweiser.
fosters a lot of culture. Like,
Totally. I'm saying American culture is amazing. American politics, maybe not, but that's what we're saying. Where people focus too much on what the country isn't, and not how beautiful the landscape is, how beautiful a lot of the people are. Like, we miss a lot of that, and I don't know if it's just our generation, but I feel like there's a lot of hatred towards the place they live, you know what I mean? And
I mean, things are fucked up, but again, you can't forget about the things that aren't.
no doubt.
I think our generation will wise up.
I think with age comes knowledge.
Yeah, true.
And I mean, I'm sure you guys saw that in Godlis. I mean, also your documentary is a great representation of the youth appreciating what the older generation has done for us. And I think we also lose that in today's age. A lot of people cast aside the old people.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And something interesting, were you going to say something, Bird?
No.
All right. I wanted to hear it. But something interesting was the very end of the film. For those who have not seen it, we went down to CBGBs with Godlis, and we photographed him in front of the storefront of what it is today. Today, it's a leather designer brand called John Varvatos, and he posed in front of it for a little bit, and we took some pictures of him standing in front of the old CBGBs. And we did this back in June, and the coronavirus pandemic was in full swing, and we got 2 different versions of photos of him in front of CBGBs, and those are with his face mask on, and then he took it off, and then we did a few without the face mask. And for a while, Noah and we didn't really want to pigeonhole this film as like a coronavirus era film.
Of course, yeah.
Because so that was our like idea we're like, David, if you feel comfortable, could you take the mask off and pose a little bit more? And he was like, yeah. He wanted to. But we ended up going with photos of him with the mask on, because the film ends on a sour note of like 1979 turning into 1980.
Yeah.
And I see this everywhere with especially films that take place between 79 and 80, like Boogie Nights. I was rewatching it since we made this film. The whole turn of events of like the sequence of that film happens when William H. Macy shoots himself in the head, literally as the clock strikes midnight on 1980. So like Godlis in the film, when he says 1980 came and it was like someone turned the lights, it's like when you're in a nightclub and someone turns the lights on at 4 a.m. to shut down, you see the world for what, like the room or the world for what it is. Like, so, and then he goes on to say, and when 1980 came, it was like someone turned the lights on and said, hello, it's 1980. Like we can't really have like the hippie movement going on or the punk movement going on. We gotta like get down to business and understand that like real estate in New York City is valuable. AIDS came around, which is what he mentions in the film. And he leads it off with Ronald Reagan was elected, which was a huge pain in the ass for people at that time. So a real big turning point was 1980. So when we were deciding between him wearing a mask or him not wearing a mask at the very end of this film, it was one of our producers that helped us like bring this up like into light. 2020 is kind of a similar situation.
For sure.
Coronavirus, the political unrest. It's like someone turned another light on, and it was 2019 was pretty lit, and now 2020 is like a whole different ball game. And we just sort of wanted to like create that parallel between the change of decades of like the 70s went by, and now this past decade just finished going by, and now it's like time to like reckon with the new world.
The Roaring 20s.
That's the long-winded decision that was going on in our heads in terms of keeping the mask.
Yeah. Wow. So that producer kind of brought that to light for you. And originally you didn't want the mask in because is there some weird thing as a filmmaker? Do people not want their movie to be in this time of coronavirus?
You don't want to like. I try never to like stamp a film with like this film was made in this
time. Yeah.
You want it to be like timeless. You don't want to use like trends in a film or like or like speed ramping or.
And at that time,
that's not a trend right now.
At that time, we were kind of not saying we were anti-maskers at that time, but nobody wanted to wear a mask. Like I was like, fuck that. Like I was like, this is the new normal. This is gonna suck. And for a while, we were like, let's not put a mask on him. Let's make it look like nothing ever happened. But we had to like grapple with that. And now it's like.
Well, you and I have a strong belief that cinema is escapism.
Yeah, it's escapism.
So you shouldn't remember that. Oh, fuck.
You gotta.
He's out there with a mask.
But, yeah, and what's funny is it turns out that David actually tested positive for the antibodies.
Wow.
Yeah, I had it.
He had it.
Wow.
Yeah, which is funny. But yeah, for a while we just didn't want to timestamp it. We didn't want to say, this is a coronavirus film and nothing else. So I don't know. Yeah, there was kind of a hesitation there, but we kind of figured that it would be better with the mask on.
But nonetheless, regardless of what time it's in, you guys really got the message out there of a really cool time period where a legend got to be one with his instrument, which is his camera, and he captured images that literally, I'm saying if we didn't have images like that, people our age would not have been drawn to this kind of music, this kind of freedom, honestly, that comes with it. And I mean, imagine
Like way of
being,
life. Yeah, the punk movement.
yeah, imagine being 16 years old going to CBGB in New York City, you know, in 1978. It's probably insane.
Yeah.
I mean, we had in my hometown, I'm from Hermosa Beach, so I'm from like around that area, but Black Flag's from there. So there is some weird, people hold on to that stuff.
Right.
We had like dingy little bars that we would all go to, but it's just local bands. But imagine just being at a place where these bands would become pretty much a voice of a generation. And it's sick that you got to meet Godlis and actually become his friend. It's truly a blessing.
I think if us four found ourselves in the same position Godlis was in, we probably would have done the same thing, which is just go back every night.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean, there's no way. There's
Sweet.
No way.
Yeah.
My folks would fucking lose their shit.
He should tell this story. Should we get him on the phone?
Yeah,
If we can, I don't want to force the man to, you know, I'm sure he's probably
down.
relaxing.
He's down.
he's down. I always sometimes think about Carmelo's as like, even though they don't have music there.
Hey, we're doing the interview. Do you want to hop on?
You're doing it right now?
Yeah. We'd love to have you on.
David, do you have Zoom?
What's that? Let me set up my headphones.
Yeah.
Sound very clear.
Do you have Zoom? Do you have the app Zoom?
I can send him the link, or
Yeah.
you guys have it in the email that I sent you.
I'll email you the link and then click it.
Oh, you want me to go on that on my computer?
Yeah.
If that's a problem.
All right.
Are you able to like video chat from your computer?
I Zoom. I'm a Zoom guy.
All
I Zoom.
All right.
right.
We'll
We'll
get-
send you the
Hey,
link.
come on. I just watched your film online.
Oh.
It looks really good online.
Thank you, David. Well,
I put it on my big TV. It looks great.
David, you're
And
just
yours is better than all the others in that New York stories that I've seen.
I couldn't agree more. But
We like the cowboy one.
yeah, we like the cock guy, the cowboy cock.
I got a little ways through that night, but I just moved along.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna email you the link, and then once you're on, you'll be on with
Video podcast.
yeah, it's a video. They're doing video. I don't know why. They're just some kids hanging out in their bedroom.
It's probably like 10 minutes.
less.
20 minutes, maybe less.
Pizza to get delivered. Okay.
All right.
When the pizza comes, you can dip.
All right. I'll send you the link. Bye bye.
Classic David.
What a
love
fucking
that.
sick guy. Holy shit.
He's got.
I'm waiting for my pizza to get delivered.
He loves pizza. I'm serious.
Dude,
Sofa
who
Pizza,
doesn't?
yeah.
Dude? He's coming on a show called Sofa Pizza.
You should ask him about.
Yeah, you should ask him about pizza.
I'll be like,
Favorite-
have you ever
favorite
ate
slice.
Sofa Pizza?
Dude, that's an
You
art.
Zoom? Does your computer do Zoom?
He's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
Zoom. All right, the fucking thing died. So
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. We're about to get Mr. Godless. Does he go by Godless?
Yeah, you call him Godlis.
yeah, call him Godlis. Call him Godlis.
All right.
I like that.
I don't want to look like I don't want to look like an asshole.
It's like Cher or something like that. Blondie. You know, just one word.
I mean, he can go by David, but Godlis would be kind of. It's cool. It's cool.
He likes it.
That's his punk name. He explained to us that everybody had a punk name, like Ronnie Rocket and like silly names like that, and we were like, well, Godlis.
What was your punk name?
What was your punk name? He goes, Godlis.
Nice.
Like, what are you
He's
kidding me?
Godless, dude. That's really sick. Is
I
he
emailed
really?
the link, so keep an eye out.
All right. Yeah, I got it. Is he a religious man or
I don't know.
Yeah,
is he godless?
He's Jewish, but I
Oh,
don't know
nice.
how active he is.
Yeah. Okay. We won't ask that.
Rush.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the 19th. Yeah.
That's tomorrow, I think.
Happy Jewish New Year.
That's what's up. Are you Jewish?
No.
There he is, man. Holy shit.
Is he on?
Yeah,
He's
about to
coming on
join.
right now. There he
Hey,
Hey,
is.
what's up?
Yes. We can't hear you yet. No, we can't hear you. No audio.
All right, now we
There
got
you
you.
go.
We can't hear
How's
you.
it going?
Can you hear me?
I hear
There you
you.
go.
Now you're on.
Hi, Godlis. I'm Shane, and this is my buddy Ethan, aka Bird.
Okay, hey Shane, hey Ethan.
How's
Hey,
it
so
going?
we were just talking about the movie that the boys just did on you, Shots in the Dark,
Yeah.
and actually we asked them a question about just like a wild story that you had at CBGB, and they said that
Yeah,
said that you
we got the poster up.
there's the
Yeah.
poster right there. They said that you could bring up the
Here.
Yeah, that poster used to be hanging up and or not used to, but he has the same poster.
Yeah, I have the same poster. It's in the film.
It's in the film too. Yeah.
yeah,
for sure.
we saw it. Yeah, I saw that in it.
Yeah.
We set
Okay,
this
so
up.
what was the question?
Well, the question was just we asked them like, what was a crazy story that you had at CBG? I'm sure you've had many. They said that we could get you on and you could explain something, but actually, I my question now is, what was it like shooting this movie with these guys, and were you flattered when they asked you to do this movie?
Yeah, I was flattered.
Were you like, who are these weird kids, and why are they asking me?
There were like 3 people that wanted to do a film with me at the same time.
Oh, so you're
it was
big
2 years
balling.
ago. You asked me like 2 years ago, right? And there was like one guy and then another guy, and so I had like 3 stories. I would go like, this guy wants to do one, and this guy, and then there's these 2 kids that want to do one.
Yeah, I remember one of them was like Korean, right?
I don't even remember what they were because some of them
One
don't
was
stand
not-
out.
One
You know,
was
but it was like felt flattering to have 3 people that wanted.
and then Alex Ross Perry too.
Yeah.
Alex Ross Perry, yeah, he had me in his movie.
So
Yeah, that was around the same time.
Godless, why did you choose the kids over the rest of the other 2?
Cool. They were cool. You could sort of you sort of you hang with them a little bit. You don't do
Yeah.
too much. You give them just enough to hang and figure out whether they're cool, because you don't want to get stuck in a film with somebody who doesn't make a good film.
Exactly, or an
So you
asshole.
hang, you go like, yeah, I'll be in the film, but let's meet. Let's
Exactly.
meet, give them a little bit, give them a little bit more, give them a little bit more,
Mhm.
and then you realize they're great.
Yeah.
They were then it was like, okay, here's everything.
What do you think of the movie? What do you think of the movie? I know they're right here, but what's your honest opinion of the movie? Did they capture?
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it.
I love it too.
It's like a great 45. It's like a single, like 45 records.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Was that
it's
Mrs.
like
Godlis?
just the right length. It's not too long. It's not too serious. It's endlessly replayable. You get to the end and want to go to the beginning again. I mean, I don't even care. The music's good.
The animation's
it's
amazing.
just not like I don't feel like embarrassed to see it. So that's good.
Exactly. Yeah.
The rest of it, it's like not even me in them. It's like my pictures. So it's not really a movie about me. It's a movie about my pictures. I feel like.
And
Yeah.
talking about your pictures.
Talk about my pictures.
Yeah, because the movie's about your pictures. But there's the part where obviously the club is very dark. How much trial and error did you have to go through? Like, how many pictures did you lose from, it being underexposed, and how was that process?
You lose a lot. You're taking a gamble, right?
Yeah.
You're going like, I'm going to gamble to get a really great picture. I'm going to miss some, and so I gambled. Yeah, I like that one night I missed Mick Jagger.
Wow.
Like
Damn.
somebody came into CBGBs and they were like, and this was when we all loved the Rolling Stones, but the Rolling Stones were starting to get boring. It was starting to be like the it's only rock and roll, but I like it. that period where. So come on, go back to 1965. You're like starting to get a little bit too old and a little bit too boring, and
That's funny.
so at that point, punk was the thing.
They're still around.
Right, and the punks were sort of stealing the Rolling Stones look from 1965, and this was 1976, so it was 11 years ago, and like bands like the Cramps were like asking me to take pictures like the Rolling Stones covers from 1965, and I go, yeah, we can do that. Well, let's do that. And then one night I was watching the Dead Boys were playing, and this girl, it's the girl Tammy, who's in front of this police car. And Tammy goes, the Rolling Stones are over at what was the name of the club? Gildersleeves. which was like just a little ways up the Bowery. I'm going, what the hell are they doing over there? There's nobody there. That's the dullest club in the world.
Yeah.
Why aren't they here? Well, they were afraid to come in.
Yeah, the scene is.
And it wasn't the whole Rolling Stones. It was just a very, very, very drunk Mick Jagger.
Nice.
A not quite as drunk Ron Wood, and Phoebe Snow, who was a singer. And they were all three sitting in an empty bar. And I walked in. I said, oh, right, she's right. There they are. Now, if I was a flash photographer, I'd have gone in and I would have had like the picture that would have gone in like the New York Post the next day. But I wasn't, because I gamble and I shoot without a flash. So I had a big dagger. It was very dark and I had to go like, you just have to hold still. And he was like, I was like, no, if you can just hold still. He's like, oh, well, And I was like, well, I didn't get that picture. I got one of Ron Wood held a little bit still.
All right.
And Phoebe Snow, who was like, it's like the straight woman who was hanging with them, she held really still. But nobody wanted those pictures. So you go out and you go like, well, who needs a picture of the Rolling Stones anyway? I waited like another year when they caught on to what was going on with punk, made a really good album, which was Some Girl, based on punk, and then I went to the party for the album and got a picture of them outside.
Yeah,
and I got my good Mick Jagger picture.
I'm more of a Ron Wood guy anyway. So
yeah, Ron was. Well, Gildersleeves was such a weird place, and then but Public Image played there. I got pictures of Johnny Rotten there.
Cool.
By that point, he was Johnny Lydon again.
Godlis, who was your favorite?
Played there, yeah.
Who was your favorite punk icon of of that time? Who was a guy that you could like put your arm around and be like, hey, what's going on, man?
I don't think I could put my arm around anybody. But Stiff Baders, I loved a lot. And because you got that picture in the film of me and Stiff Baders at the end. Yeah. And Joey Ramone, obviously the Ramones. With the Ramones. Debbie wasn't letting me put my hand around her back then. But
you and Alex were pretty close, right? He liked to.
In a way we were close. Yeah, I mean, like he knew a lot about photography. Alex Chilton, who I think the guy who I was film about Alex Chilton. It's not out yet, but Alex is really cool. And I didn't even know what the hell he was. Like I knew him from the Box Tops. Alex Chilton. These guys don't know what I'm talking about. He was in the band called the Box Tops. You've heard the song, "You'll Give Me a Ticket for an Airplane."
Yeah.
He recorded that song when he was 15.
Yeah.
In Memphis, and it became a gigantic hit. And so he was like a famous rock star in a band called the Box Tops at age 15, and had like the whole world. And then his whole career from there sort of went down, and he loved it that way. Yeah, so at one point, he was in Big Star.
Big Star, right? Big
Star, which is the band that it's the same song that
70s Show.
70s Show, yeah. He wrote that, and he didn't even hear it. Like somebody else recorded it. I think Cheap Trick recorded it, right, for the 70s Show.
Yeah, I think so.
Doing in the city,
and
then so Alex, after Big Star, came to New York and was hanging out at CBGBs. Yeah. And so I knew he was friends with a very famous art photographer named William Eggleston, who did the cover of the Big Star album. And I was like a big fan of William Eggleston, so Alex and I hung out at CBGBs talking photography.
David,
I think he sort of saw me and was like, I'm going to get this guy to take one of those night pictures of me. And he did. And we went out to this gallery. We did the picture of him that is like sort of if you.
Uh-oh.
He's frozen.
Yeah.
He's frozen.
Godlis, no.
It's a really good freeze frame. Look at him.
It's the classic photo of Alex Chilton. I think it's that. I mean, he took. I'll say it before he hops on. I mean, it's probably the most famous picture of Alex Chilton. He probably wouldn't admit it to him. Admit that.
I asked him once the same question.
Oh, you froze. You're back.
Oh, you're back. You froze for a while.
No.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
You can't?
Now
there you go.
Yeah, sometimes it's my old computer because my new computer's over there.
Oh yeah.
I haven't set it up yet, so.
David, I don't think you know this yet, but Numero Group didn't let us. They don't have the rights to "I Can't Seem to Make You Mine" by Alex Chilton. So I had to go on this huge chase to like track down everything and who owns what.
The publishing.
Publishing, master, and whatever. And the Alex Chilton estate, which is essentially just Alex Chilton's sister. She loved the film.
Yeah.
She saw the film and she loved it.
And I know the guy who's making the Alex Chilton film, his friend, is getting permission from the sister.
Yeah.
She saw it, she loved it?
Yeah, she loved it.
That's great.
And
we all loved it. It was great. It's great.
These guys made a great film.
They're very talented.
I got lucky. I banked on the right guy. I really did. But that's something you learn along the way, you know?
Yeah, you could have.
Chances, and then you sort of got to sniff out the cool people.
You could have done Korean cinema, but you just saw the potential in the young mind.
My pizza's here. Excuse me.
All right, guys, we'll let you go and enjoy your dinner. Thank you for coming on, and thank you so much. You've inspired.
The best. All right?
They are.
Yeah,
they are.
They're future stars.
And also, you are good at what you do too.
Yeah, thank you. And you guys are pretty good too.
Oh, thanks.
Do you know why we got 2 Heinekens tonight, David?
For Roberta.
Yeah.
That's right. So
I'm going to tell her. I was just texting her earlier. She loves the film.
All
my friends from CBGBs love the film. They're like,
check out the film. Check out the film. All right. That's
right.
If you're listening to this, check out the film. Shots in the Dark with David Godlis by the Kloster brothers.
By Kloster brothers. By Shane?
Shane and Bird.
Shane and Bird. Okay.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Your Bird and Shane, but I'll go with it. Oh, that looks cool.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'd love to get a copy of that flyer.
It's for when we screen at CBGBs on October.
That's going to be a fun night.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna knock them dead that night.
Oh yeah.
You are.
Knock them dead. Nice.
I'm just
David,
gonna
happy Rosh Hashanah.
Oh yeah.
Happy Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
It's Rosh Hashanah. Yeah. What was it? 50. I think it's 59:21 or something like that. You know, Jews we're way up ahead of everything. 5,921. Something like that. So
I love it.
Don't bank on me.
Hey, I'm taking your word for it.
All right, you guys.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye, David.
How do I get out of here? Do I just leave?
Yeah, just go ahead and leave.
All right.
You're the best, man. You're the best.
Right. Bye. I see you. Leave. See you later.
Have a good one. Peace.
Wow, dude. What a treat.
Damn.
What a character.
The guy eats a lot of pizza and the pizza came, and it's only appropriate that's why he cut it short.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
mean, that's so awesome. I'll let you guys go too, because I know you guys got a premiere to see, but thank you.
All right, well, we'd just like to invite the entire Sofa Pizza viewership we didn't write the dates on these because we want it to be a mystery, but we're going to bring a projector, a really big boombox, and a bed sheet to CBGB's location on October 7th, 9 p.m. We're going to show the film for as long as we can until we're shut down by the police.
Oh, sick.
So come on down.
Let's fucking do it.
I'll
be there.
Yeah,
I will
for
be
sure.
there.
Yeah, you guys come for sure.
And hopefully we can get a beer or something soon.
Oh yeah.
Cheers to that. Yeah, let's
Cheers,
do
man.
Mellow soon outside.
Hey, you guys got it, man.
All right, bro.
You got the number now. Thank you so much, boys.
Peace.
Have a fun time tonight.
Love
Bye-bye.
y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
Love you.
We'll get this up soon.
Okay.
All right,
cool.
see you guys.
Can't wait.